Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Will here, Orlando-based flight attendant. Hope you're doing wonderful. Today's Friday. I've had such a long day and I've been doing stuff, but I've also been somewhat procrastinating, and I need to pack my bag for a 2-day trip that I am going on tomorrow with a report time of 7:05. So I need to get going because if I'm being honest, I have not had a lot of sleep this week, so I can use every single hour of sleep that I can get. So my goal is to hurry up and get ready, and in the process of getting ready to go to work tomorrow, I am going to address the elephant in the room. A lot of you guys have been commenting whether or not I am going to make a video about sharing my honest opinion of what I think about my airline potentially becoming a turn airline. This is not secret news. It's been all over. Everybody knows about it. And I normally try to just wait until things happen before I normally express how I feel, but I believe that there are a few things that I can speak on, whether this actually happens or not. And so on today's video, I am going to be talking about that. So make sure that you watch until the end. But first things first, we gotta go and pack this baby up. Normally what I try to do first is dig through my bag to see what I have not used, and whether or not I can recycle that outfit. And my trip is 2 legs tomorrow, 24 hours, and then 1 leg bag. So I don't really need a lot of clothes. This is a packing cube that I normally use for my underwear and socks and all that. I try to fit clothes for 2-3 days on this baby. So the layover is San Juan. So I'm gonna go to my little island for a 23-hour layover. So in the previous trip I had, I was actually in San Juan as well. So it's similar outfits. Like I just need 1 more set of clothes to work out and I should be good. And then I gotta select the shoes that I would like to bring with. I have to be honest with you guys, I've been trying to film all day, but it hasn't worked. There's a video that I am trying to film for you guys and it's not coming out as I expected, or it's not turning to be what I expected or what I envisioned. And that's giving me a lot of anxiety, I'm not gonna lie. And so I just wanna make sure that I take care of that at some point because I wanna post that video before the end of the month. So what I'm gonna do here is actually start off with my pajamas, and I really try to just roll everything so that way I can fit more stuff. Packing cubes do work, but I feel like there are other times where they don't. It's almost like depending on what type of trip I'm going, I decide whether or not I'm going to bring packing cubes, because sometimes I feel like I can fit more stuff without using them. But if I'm just gonna go, like for example tomorrow on this 2-day trip where I know I don't really need a lot of clothes, then I'll for sure bring it. But when I went to Europe back in December, I remember trying to pack everything into the packing cube and it wasn't working, especially because the bag that I had to bring was a lot smaller compared to, you know, my regular rollerboard that I use for work. But in the end, it worked out, and you guys remember all about that. If you are wondering what I'm talking about with that packing video, I'll go ahead and put it up here. I've been needing these 24-hour layovers. It's not the most productive trip. It is barely worth 10 hours, and there's been other trips going into open time that I could swap this one for, you know, for the other productive ones, but I can use 24 hours by the beach. Can you hear the planes? That's how close I am to the airport. So I kind of try to pack it like this. Something like this. On this side I can still put this, and then over here I'll throw that packing cube, and then the toiletry bag can go there, and then that's it, all good. For the backpack, I have to make sure that I have my company tablet, which is fully charged, I believe. Let's see. On this toiletry bag over here, I keep all of my required duty items, which I will probably not go over them, just because some of them I can't really share, but I do have one of these, so that that should let you know how much I really appreciate having a lint roller. Lysol, this is important. All right, it's at 100%. I'm gonna throw this in here, and then I put this entire thing in the backpack only because, like, once I get to my plane, I just retrieve the whole bag, and then I have all the items that I need. All of my camera gear, so I have like GoPro gear, which I don't know where my GoPro is. I gotta find it. But I have tripods and all that jazz. Just gonna go ahead and pack it now, so that way I don't have to worry about it later. So this goes right here. This goes right here. I also have a puffer jacket that I tend to put on this side of my backpack, so that way I don't have to open my rollerboard. This is pretty much how I pack. Just throw this in here. Close it up on this side. Let's go to work. It is time to meal prep, and I don't have a clue when I'm going to meal prep. I feel like I've been running out of options, but I've also been so good at meal prepping that I want to continue that. I saw a recipe which is essentially like slicing the sweet potato and then you just put it in the air fryer. I did buy ground chicken, so I'm thinking that I can maybe slice a sweet potato, roast it or toast it. I don't know which one was it. And then just throw that over the sweet potato and then maybe some cheese. So I went ahead and sliced the sweet potato, and this is what it looks like. I'm just gonna throw some olive oil all over it, and then I'm just gonna throw them in the air fryer for maybe 12 minutes. All right, friends, so this is so far what I have for meal prep on this trip. On this side, I have some yogurt and granola that I'm going to eat Sunday morning for breakfast, and I have the rotisserie pulled chicken that I am going to split between tomorrow and Sunday. Then I have the arugula and spinach mix, which I am going to split as well. I have a thing of strawberries, carrots that I am going to throw in the air fryer because I just saw someone on Instagram do this, and they did it with barbecue sauce. So I'm just gonna see how that goes because I don't really like carrots. But so far, this is all I have going on for this trip. And then just have a few more minutes left on the air fryer to throw those sweet potatoes in there, let them cool down, and then just pack everything and put it in the fridge for tomorrow. Let's take a sip of water before we actually begin talking about what you guys have been waiting for. This topic reminds me a lot when the merger with the other airline was announced. And I'm not talking about the second merger, I'm talking about the very first merger with the green airline and the yellow airline, right? And at the time, I remember when the merger was announced, I didn't really, I don't want to say I didn't address it or I didn't talk about it, but there was very limited information given to us. Therefore, it was kind of difficult for me to determine how I really felt about it. And I still came here and I talked to you guys about it. You know, I don't even remember exactly what I shared back then, but now there's been information out there in the news. This is public information. I'm not giving any inside information, that my airline has the intention to become a turn airline. First and foremost, we've always had turns. It's not like they're new to us. We've always had them. And there has been an increase in turns when we get our bidding packets, which is where the trips for the month at each base are. And then you use that to bid for your schedule. So there has been an increase on that, but so far I am still getting a mix of trips and turns, which I don't mind, and I've been vocal about that. As long as I don't get a all turn schedule, then I'm all good. I'm all good. Turns work for a lot of people, believe it or not. People that have families, people that have kids, or don't have anyone to really help them with, you know, family situations and stuff, which that's great. Turns are not a bad thing for the people that really need to only work turns. There's the other group of people that just enjoy the trips. You know, it doesn't have to be trips for a specific reason, but just enjoy the trips in general and love to have a layover somewhere, hang out with the crew, potentially exploring a new city, which I feel like is the essence of this job, right? Going somewhere, I mean, you guys get excited when we visit new destinations and we bring you along, and it's to me, that's the essence of the job. Staying somewhere, flying, you know, to the other side of the country or traveling to a different part of the world and just share that experience with everyone, whether you have a YouTube channel or not. Now, there are two things that switching to a full-turn airline could potentially affect. And number one, that's per diem. So when you go on a turn, your per diem is taxed. When you go on a trip, your per diem is not taxed. For example, this month I have 307 hours of per diem, which with turns, there's no way. But imagine the difference that would make in your check. Per diem sometimes adds an additional $400, $500, maybe $600 on top of your, you know, regular pay or your flying hours. That's a huge difference. Imagine how many more hours you're gonna have to work if you actually had to just do turns and you need to make up for all the other extra money that you're not getting. The other thing with turns is, believe it or not, I feel like in a way, it kind of affects day-to-day life, because it's not the same thing driving to the airport once and, you know, getting ready for a 4-day trip and you just do everything that one time, and then you go on your trip for 3-4 days, maybe 2 days, and you just come home, rest, maybe have a few days off. With turns, I feel like you're gonna have to work at least 5 turns a week, and it's just gonna take so much of your time now. In the end, I feel like with turns, you're working more and you're making less. And that's the way I see it. I know a lot of people will see it differently. People that, you know, have more experience than I do will have a different opinion about it, and that's okay. We're all entitled to our opinion, right? And we respect everyone's opinion here. The intention is there for us to become a turn airline. Will it actually happen? I don't know. If it does happen, what's gonna happen to me? I don't know either. I know that I love this job very much, and I know that after all these jobs that I've done, I know that being a flight attendant is what I really want to be and continue doing for potentially the rest of my life. I haven't given any thought to what I would do if we do in fact become an all-turn airline. I have not. So I can't tell you here I'm gonna go to another airline, or that's not where my head's at. That's not what I want to happen. I really don't want to go somewhere else. That's not, it's just not. I'm not saying it's never gonna happen, because, you know, never say never, but I don't want that. If I have to fly minimum and find a, you know, different job opportunity, then I can do that, but quitting and walking away from this job is not something I want to do. So I will make that very clear, because I know a lot of people will probably think that I'm considering leaving, but that's not where my head's at. Especially now that I live here where I'm based and my life is entirely different. And I feel like in order for us to operate as a full-turn airline, there's a lot of different elements that need to be taken care of. Will it actually work? I don't know. My hope is that even if we continue to have an increase on turns, that we can still hold multi-day trips. And Orlando seems to be one of the bases that will continue to hold multi-day trips. This month, I actually have more trips than I have turns. I only have 3 turns, I think. And I had more turns, but I swapped for trips. So in the end, trips are still around, and I like my quality of life here. I enjoy the work-life balance that I have going on. And you know, I'm not on reserve. I have my own schedule, and I hold the days off that I need, and honestly, sometimes that's all that matters. I am still finishing up meal prepping here. I won't hold you any longer because I'm pretty sure this video got sort of long. If you did enjoy this video or learned something, go ahead and smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm going to see you next Sunday for another flight attendant video. Take care.